are here with Garden Roads, right? Garden Roads?
That's it.
Did I get that right?
Got it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for being here. I appreciate it. Well, let's just start things off with introductions, right? Let's just go around the room and let me know who you are and what you do in the band.
I'm Tim Malcarney. I am former drummer on the album, but now turned somewhat of a guitar player here, singer, and I wrote the songs on the album.
Nice. All right, next.
John Malcarney, not the drummer on the album, drummer on the live shows, cousin of Tim. I was being on around things. Frank Camardella, play guitar and try to harmonize with Tim.
Awesome.
Dave Laganella, I play guitar.
Awesome.
Keyboards too,
Keys.
right?
Keyboards.
Yeah.
What else is ever needed?
Mandolin.
Yeah.
Just about anything. And I'm Frank DeLorco. I play bass and also do harmonies with Franny and Tim.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then whose son was here? Whose son is part of Wasted Potential?
Our children are.
His son, my daughter.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, they were here. I forget what episode, but I'll put it in the notes. But yeah, they were here maybe 10 months to a year ago, something like that. So that's awesome. Yeah, man. So how did you guys get together as the Garden Roads?
So the Garden Roads is, I have a co-writing partner that I wrote all this stuff with, and I played in a band for years with him, a band called The Silence. And this project actually originally started out as just a kind of another, album for The Silence. And he lived in San Diego. I'm over here. Kind of made the last album that we put out, kind of made things difficult to play and to, get together. We could write and everything fine, but
Sure.
and record fine. But then we put this thing out, and he had decided at that point he's moving to France.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's out of there, so he's going further away. And it was one of those things where I thought the songs were really, I was really proud of them. I thought they sounded great, and I just didn't want to let them die on the vine.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him the plan. I said, "Hey, I'm going to put together a band to play these things and bring these things to life." And this cast of characters right here is I'm very fortunate what I came up with. So, a lot of them, there's a lot of like interconnections here of guys. We all live close to each other. We're cousins, and the two of us went to a kindergarten together.
Okay.
So we've known each other for quite a while.
Tim's dad delivered my daughter.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was way back. So, but it was it's one of those things. You put together a band, which I hadn't done since the 7th grade, which was really, a crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find like-minded people, especially after doing it for so long. You got to find it, because if not, it's just not worth it. It's not worth going out there and, doing that. And these guys are all of like, everybody's kind of had like a little bit of a similar experience is coming through and doing all this stuff. And, I always joke, because I didn't know Fran and I didn't know Frank or Fran just over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to bet Fran and I have shared the stage together at some point in time, because he was kind of doing the same thing.
Sure.
And Dave and I have never played together really until now.
We did a Christmas pageant in 6th grade.
We did a Christmas performance
soon as you did.
Rock Around the
Nice.
Clock back in the
It was epic. With the other guitar player from The Silence too.
yeah, with Evan, who's the other guitar player.
Okay. Cool.
But it's really, I love the way that it started, because it just brought these kind of, everybody who's kind of of the same mindset and together, and really, honestly, it's a lot of fun, man. Rehearsals are really, it's fun.
That's awesome. That's great. So how long would you say you guys have been together as the Garden Roads?
We started last January. So a year.
So January
So-
2025.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the songs that are on the most recent album, is that the only album that you guys have out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's that album called?
That album is called Destination Never Known, which comes from, I think that song we just played, right?
Yep.
Which comes
Okay.
from the song Never Stop. It's just a line in there.
Gotcha. And then when did that come out? That's recent, right?
That came out in August.
August. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have plans for another one coming up soon or anything?
We're gonna ride this one for a little while,
Okay.
man. That album was recorded over a period of time, and then it was just like, just getting an album out these days is a feat. In
Yeah,
itself,
absolutely.
You
Yep.
you probably know that,
Yep.
and so we're just, it took us a while to get like, it's a unique situation because we had the album out first.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys all came and it's like, all right, well now learn the songs
I gotcha.
and play them.
Yep.
And then we just started, getting shows. So
That's cool.
So we're going to ride this for a while and see what happens. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Where are you guys playing? Give me a list of some venues that you've either played at or have stuff coming up with.
We just played Kung Fu Necktie
Nice.
last month.
Yeah.
That's great venue.
Yeah.
Awesome venue.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll be at that Elephant Talk indie thing.
Union
Yep.
Firehouse.
The Union Firehouse will be playing there.
Oh, cool.
Up in Mount Holly.
Yeah.
Is that your own show or is that part of some kind of showcase or
Jersey Calling is
Oh, with Jersey Calling. They were in here too before we went to video. But yeah, they're like, their episode is like single digits. So, yeah. No, that's awesome.
Have them back on.
Yeah, I'll have to for sure.
Yeah, we're doing that. And then we're just booking some other shows. We'll be at Fergie's over in Philly.
Nice.
Doing a thing, like probably more of this acoustic style, which we're going to do tonight.
Cool.
Just keep on booking. Got
That's
a lot of
fantastic.
stuff out there, and we'll see what hits.
Yep. Now, is it safe to assume it's all original music, or do you do covers too?
Yeah, it's all original.
All original.
Actually, we are doing one cover. We're doing at the Dylan birthday bash over at the Ardmore. So
Oh, cool.
Next month.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's that show going to look like? Is
The
it?
Dylan one?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's John and I. John's been doing it for a long time. I've done it for like the past, I don't know how many years. 6 years somewhere, 6-7 years. But it's 40 artists doing 40 songs.
Oh, wow.
Everybody gets up there and does one song,
Really?
and it's just, it's just this rotating.
Mhm.
It's a packed house. So you walk in there. I think it starts at 6, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
You walk in, and it is like a packed house. And it's very odd to see the place that crowded.
Basically, all the musicians are the audience members.
Yeah. If you got 40 bands, you got a lot of audience filled in right off the bat.
Yep.
But it's a really receptive crowd, which is
Mhm.
cool.
Yep.
But also a crowd that'll call you out if you're what version are you doing? Or if you can
Oh,
do-
really? Really?
It's
Yeah.
been known to happen.
That's
But
funny.
Moves fast though. Yeah.
it does move fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was
Well-oiled
gonna
machine.
say, I was gonna say, how is that even possible? Like you get a whole band up there and then they play one song and then you got to do the changeover.
It is literally there are people waiting at the bottom of the stage. There's people calling you downstairs. You get on there. It's very little changeover on
Right.
on the stage.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go up there prepared. So
Sure.
like,
Sure.
it's like the Beatles, Ed Sullivan thing.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. All right, if you don't mind, let's go through like individual backgrounds. Where did music start for you? And kind of give me the high level of what your journey was.
Yeah.
Is.
Music has always been a huge part of mine. I'm very fortunate to be the youngest of 6 kids. So it was kind of, and parents were very into, music. Maybe a little different. They're into classical, but it's still, music was always in the house. It was always happening.
Mhm.
And it was just one of those things where I, at a certain point, like I was probably around 6th grade, I guess, that it's one of those things that either I think hooks you
Yeah.
and does not let go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a casual thing,
Mhm.
at least not for me.
Right.
And it grabbed me, and that's kind of all I wanted to do, is I just wanted to play music. And I've been in the same band since that time up until, this,
Right.
and just writing original music. And probably it was a default of not being able to learn other people's stuff at first. So, just going in there, and we just never stopped. So, went through that thing, played in that same band for years, had some, success getting signed to a recording,
Oh, really?
studio and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, had our fair share of like the slugging it out in the trenches.
Hmm.
We started playing like JC Dobbs on South Street at
Yeah,
like
man.
16.
Yep.
And all this cool stuff, and opening up for some pretty great bands later on, like national touring bands.
Like
It
who?
was,
Give me some names if you don't mind.
opened up for Live, Collective Soul,
Really?
yeah,
Nice.
people like that. But
That's awesome.
it was, and when you're going through that and you're going through college and everything, we just stayed together and just played, and it was just really, it was awesome. And then, and then that's it, man. It just stuck. It doesn't leave you. So
That's for sure.
here are these years later, and I'm like, well, this has got to keep going, and find these guys who have their own journeys to get here. Yeah.
That's amazing. How about you?
Yeah,
Where'd you start?
7th grade, we had one of those traveling music teachers come to our elementary school. Demoed all the things that he taught, everything from brass to strings to drums. thought I'd call Windavid and said, you have to sign up for something, but you have to sign up for anything but drums. So I checked the box for the snare drum and took the permission slip to my mother. The rest is history.
Nice. Have you been in like bands before?
Yeah,
and stuff?
I was, I went to college up in Vermont. So I did some bands around Haddonfield where I grew up. And I went to Vermont for school. Bands up there and went out to San Diego. A few bands out there. Yeah, just kick around,
Very cool.
The grind is
Was that also original music or cover bands?
Everything. So, Tim has had a very static, in a good way, with the silence. I'm the opposite. I've been in a million bands.
All of the above.
Oh, yeah.
I hear. Yeah. Nice.
Some jazz trios to rock outfits. To,
That's awesome.
Cover bands, original stuff. So
Love it. Love it. Next.
I'm more like John than Tim. I'm the town bicycle with bands. I've hoarded myself out for years and years and years, but I love it. I started out in a band and I fronted, and it was fun. We had people seemed to dig it. We did the Philly scene, and then just jumped in other bands. I had some moderate success, but also opened up for some cool acts and national acts, and I think we're all hovering around the same age, and we're all still itching that scratch. So never stop.
Yeah, man.
Just going.
That's great. That's great. Dave, how about you?
Yeah, my journey is definitely more similar to John and Fran's. I've played in any kind of band you could possibly imagine.
Right. Always guitar and piano, or
guitar mostly. I played cello for about 10 years. I was fairly competent with that. Love that a lot.
Can I just stop you here, because you're not going to? I don't know why Dave's not going to say.
Well,
he's the most
modest.
He's the most accomplished. Probably, I don't think everybody could say. I mean, he's actually got his degree.
Oh, nice.
And the guy writes
full classical pieces.
Oh,
pieces.
really?
One I think is possibly performing tonight in New York. I think.
Yeah.
Really?
About an hour.
You better get going.
Yeah. But it's
so are you classical guy at heart, or is it just
no? I would just kind of tell Tim's story from a different perspective. Tim and I grew up across the street from another. So like when we were all trying to learn our instruments, I was down in his basement with Evan and him, and our musical taste definitely did not align.
Okay.
I was definitely more into Ozzy and
man, nice.
They were more into the Smiths and the British. Tim is also a Deadhead as well.
Yeah.
And we all went to different high schools, so just kind of lost track. And then I eventually went to pursue my degrees in composition. And
where'd you go to school?
I went to NYU, and I had my PhD from Penn.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I've always wanted to know this about like kind of like composing classical music, because I don't do it. And whenever I write stuff, I have to be holding the guitar in hand and strumming stuff to really kind of come up with whatever. What's it like to compose a classical piece? I mean, do you legit sit down in front of just sheet music and start filling in notes based on what you hear in your head, or how does that kind of work?
Every piece is a little different. Every journey is a little different. It's not unlike songwriting. I mean, even before you pick up your instrument, you kind of have a melody in your head. You kind of know what chords you want to strike. So there's a great amount of internalization happening before you ever get to like.
Okay. Yep.
But and much like writing a really great song, there's a lot of revision, a lot of throwing away. But I generally wrote away from the piano and any instrument. I just paper and manuscript.
Yeah, I mean, I was, it was Beethoven that went deaf when he was like 30, right?
Yeah.
So I picture him just like not being able to hear the music, but still like writing all the time.
Beethoven, hear it. Any composer worth their salt can hear everything in their head.
Okay, I got you.
And a good songwriter too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, how about you? Where's your journey start?
Yeah, it was probably I played trumpet when I was a little kid, but that ended quickly. But probably my late teens, I was just totally hooked in the Philly punk scene. I was a big Dead Milkmen fan and Lookout Records fan in the 90s. So I've been in lots and lots of original punk bands. I was in a band called The Rubs, which was really whacked out. We opened for Cracker in Virginia. And
Nice.
Thousands of people. And
Nice.
it was all downhill after that. 10 people at a record store, 10 people at Dobbs.
That's rock and roll.
It
Yeah,
is,
man.
It is.
Yeah.
And
How did that gig opening up for Cracker come about?
that's a really sort of long story, but we had do you really want me to go into
Yeah, I'm here for it all, man.
we had 5 people in the band, but we would always accept anybody that had any type of talent that wanted to do anything. And there was a dominatrix that was in our band
All right.
for a while.
Hey now.
She was friends with somebody in Virginia who booked for a festival.
She was friends with
and yeah, we got hooked up to open for Cracker. I was at the lunch meat table eating with those guys.
That's awesome.
Kind of crazy. And and I just moved around to different original bands. I've written literally hundreds of songs in my life. I'm doing composing for a video game company now.
Are you really?
Yeah. So doing that.
Is your have you written for any games that any of my listeners might have heard of?
No, I haven't made a cent from it.
Okay. All right. I hear
That's also rock and roll.
Very true.
It's usually like this little kid that wants a Pokemon tune for his.
Oh, I
for
see.
his,
I see.
Published.
Yeah.
That he does. Yeah.
That's cool.
And friend should mention the Paisley Pickles.
Oh, the Paisley Pickles. How can I not?
I know that name.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We're an original kind of children's
kids stuff, right? Yeah. Your was it your daughter, right? Who's in Wasted Potential?
Yeah, my daughter.
She told me all about it. Yeah. Well,
I'm Pickle Frank.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So how large is your audience, like on YouTube or whatever?
For the Pickles?
Yes.
Over time, like a lot of the Pickles fans have grown up, my friends. Now they're
We
like in college.
used to travel around.
Yeah, we used to
Big
go. We played in Texas and Virginia.
That's amazing.
And Connecticut, like all over the place. We had a manager from Haddonfield that coordinated all the first night, and she used to book Jane Mathers was her name, and she would book these Irish bands from Ireland and get them on tour. And she saw us play, and she's like, we did an adult show for the fireworks and a kid show. And she's like, the adult show is kind of, but if you want to do a kids thing, I'd love to manage you. So
that's
how it
awesome.
started. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Are there still Paisley Pickle shows that happens every now and then?
There are still, usually mostly in the summer, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
It's an eclectic group here, huh?
Yeah, man. That's great. I love the diverse background. I love the the stories about kind of, doing some stuff that if one of my listeners is like an amateur musician, just kind of thinking about what the possibilities are, that there are lots of venues, right? Lots of avenues that you can pursue when it comes to music, right? Classical composer, kids music band, whatever, and there's the different styles of music. You can open up for touring acts. Like there's a lot of the message, the common thread that runs through a lot of my episodes is, it's not rock star or bust, right? It's not, because when I was little, I'm 53. When I was like 14 years old learning how to play guitar, I didn't know there were other avenues that you could pursue as a musician to be a professional musician, right? I thought it's either rock star or like guitar teacher or that's it, It's amazing to see the different possibilities, right?
Yeah, I think if you really want to go out there and do it, like you said, there are avenues that you can get out there and you can it's a grind. It could be a grind, but you can do it.
And if you love it that much, it's a grind that you don't mind. I didn't mean the round net.
Write that down.
That's fantastic. All right. So for my listeners who don't know who you are or haven't heard you before, which they will, because we've got 2 songs from them coming up at the end, so stick around. How would you describe the style of music?
Man, that's always the toughest thing. I guess I'll let you guys take over, because it's funny. You get asked that a lot. When you're writing music or you're in a band or something, like, oh, who do you sound like?
Right. Yep.
All of the stuff that I just, my whole life, I've taken into account everything that's entered into me. I always do. So when I'm writing, I could probably point to like little sections of different songs. I'm like, ooh, that to me sounds like, and it's probably so obscure and so like whatever, but it's the kind of a collection of whatever, you know, all together. And if somebody says that sounds like something, they're drawing from their influences to hear what it sounds like. So it's just such a weird, sorry for the roundabout answer,
No,
but
it's
for
totally
me,
fine.
it's always a hard thing to answer about like what it sounds like. I always just say, you know, it's there's a lot of harmonies on there. It's not country, it's not heavy metal, and you know, it's, I don't know, somewhere in the rock genre,
somewhere betwing K-pop and death metal.
exactly.
Somewhere in there, somewhere.
And maybe even a little
Marty Robbins.
maybe even a little niche sometimes. But you know, it's tough. But I mean, I don't know if you guys have a better answer.
One of the things I like about the project is the songs are really, really well crafted.
Nice.
I think, you know, when Tim writes, he writes acoustic guitar, puts his ideas down, but then from the music I've known from, they go and then they layer a shit ton of guitars, harmony. It's like a little symphony unto itself. So like when Tim approached us to play, it's like, we got to recreate that, like play it live. So I think the biggest challenge for us as a band was, it really wasn't that much of a challenge. I shouldn't say it. I should rephrase that. Was recreating the album so that we could play it live and make it sound good.
Right.
But the songs are well crafted that we could paint them up with, you know, our big guitar rigs with lots of effects and delay and some things like that. But they also speak really well, scaled back, like what we're going to do tonight.
Yep.
That, you know, a great song doesn't live in one instrumentation. It can be painted in any number of instrumentations. And I think that's one thing Tim Stonering has going for him.
I think the challenge for me, was different from me. You know, I've played thousands of cover songs in my life, but I've never actually covered a song with the drummer that recorded this song peering over my shoulder. So that was a...
Is that a little extra pressure?
Yeah.
No, trust me. If there's somebody who can nail it, it's good. But I think what you're saying though, Dave, is the like, I kind of agree with that, because the project, when these guys came in, it was kind of like, I don't want to like recreate them just like verbatim, like this is it. I want to be able to take it and play it right here. I want to be able to play them. If all of a sudden, if there's like an orchestra behind us, we're going to figure out how to play that there. You know, I layer a lot of vocals on tracks. So that song, the song that we're going to play tonight, one of them is, there's a whole lot of vocal tracks on there, but then we dial it down. We figure out what works here and there. And when I first started this, it was kind of like, I want the songs to be able to be recreated if it's a single guitar, if it's a band, if it's electric, if it's this, because it does, you know, it's one of those things where the songs can always be recreated to make them, and you can keep the core of that song intact. So
yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, I am primarily a solo acoustic guy. I'm in the process of recording a few songs that I want to do as a full band. And yeah, you do worry a little bit about like, is this song going to translate to a full band? You know, if I add drums and a bass guitar and electric guitar, is that going to translate? But it sounds like yours do, which I think is amazing.
It's like, and years ago, or for many years, we would put out, you know, an album, and then you go on to do like a radio thing or something, right? Like, I'll play this, and it's like, oh, we can't really play that because it's got this intricate, and I just want to bypass that, because you can get the theme of it all can go. The spirit of the song can carry through, even if it's just on guitar. So, you know, even if you write like that, I don't think it's, or record like that, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's cool. That's for that medium. You know what I mean? And then it's like, if you're by a campfire, here's a different medium.
That's cool. I love it. I love it. And so let's talk specifically about these songs that are on the album. And I know you wrote them mostly, right? So what did that writing process look like? Is it lyrics first? Is it music first? Is it a combination?
It's never, well, I shouldn't say this. It's almost never lyrics first. There's one song on here that was just an idea. For me, the way that I do it, and I do have the guy who I wrote this with, I would come up with an idea. And again, I'm a drummer. I'm not a guitar player. I would come up with an idea, and I find melodies. I'm a melody guy.
Okay.
You know, melody is where it lives for me. So if I'm messing around with something, I get that melody. I would then send it to him, and I would say, play this guitar part better. And he wouldn't just play what I played better. He would add on this element of like all this other stuff, and it created this palette.
Nice.
And then at that point, I would be able to say, okay, now I can take those melodies and maybe craft them a little bit differently and do all that. And then the words kind of flow to me after that. Words are always, from me anyway, are always the last thing to happen. And you start to wonder sometimes, like, you really want to make a meaningful and all this stuff, you know, and it just sometimes takes a little bit longer for me to do that. The melody comes a lot of times pretty quick for me.
Yep. That's great. That's great. Having these guys play those songs, do they have the freedom to kind of make them their own, like each part and stuff? Yeah. And has that happened when you guys are playing live?
Yeah.
A little bit?
I think so. I mean, we've taken some of these songs that have the specific parts, and then we've either added on to the end or you know, done whatever. I mean, what do you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's Evan, his songwriter partner, is I think between Evan and Dave and myself, and even Tim to some degree, are great players, but very different.
Right.
And like I'm not a shredder. I'm a rhythm guitar guy. I'm doing some intricate stuff in this band, and it's Tim and everyone else is allowed that kind of me to try things, and
yeah, that's awesome.
It's usually not my forte, but somehow it's working.
Nice.
And I don't think it would work at all if it wasn't supported by everyone else in the band. And
that's very cool.
And like, you know, like he's like Yngwie Malmsteen and with a sprinkle of Eddie Van Halen, and
those are some big names you're trying.
It all somehow it's working. But when you hear the album, it's like you don't hear any of that. But there's a little bit of that sprinkled into our live shows, and Tim's been awesome about just letting that breathe. And
that's awesome.
It's been really, really fun.
Yeah, I think our personalities come out in these parts. Even you know, they're
it's like being in high school again with these guys.
Fewer wedgies, though, I hope.
Occasional wedge. But I mean, like the some of the times we're saying like that, like there's some, like, you know, solo-ish things or whatever on the album. But when you're playing live, it's a different thing if you were to play those songs and just put them on a turntable, you know, and play them in the bar, it would be like, that's really cool. But when you're on a stage, you're playing, you got to let it rip a little. Like, there are different lights for these things. And then, you know, I mean, I knew what I was getting into when Dave was the first one I reached out to. Actually, John, I've been reaching out to for like 10 years saying, I'm getting something going. But Dave's the first one I reached out to, and I said, you got to believe in this and try to make this happen. Because if you don't, then, you know, he's like the key. So he like charted everything out and kind of, he's the de facto musical director.
Nice.
But, you know, there's times in there when it's ripping on stage, and it's not what is even close to what's on the album, but this is live, you know, and it's just totally different.
In that vein, though, I think we all kind of said it without saying it. There are some like key pieces on the album that, without saying it out loud, had to be preserved. And and Dave's been really good about preserving that. Like some of them strong. There's some solos that, like, you got to play that song. It's like it's homage to Evan in some sort,
right? And
Tim, and we all just know that's got to stay.
Yeah.
So there's some parts that stay, but then a lot of it's been pretty free, and you know,
very cool.
It's really, really fun.
Awesome. Anything else you guys want to talk about, bring up, promote before we get to the performance?
No, I mean, we have a couple shows coming up, like we already said. You know, the I guess the Union Firehouse is on something else with the date.
It's the 25th.
The 25th of April.
Yep.
And then
we have the week before, we have Elephant Talk.
Yeah, Elephant Talk.
That's on the 18th. We're Saturday afternoon outdoors.
Nice.
The Dylan thing, if you've never been to it, you should go to it. It's awesome.
Okay. Ardmore, right?
Yeah. That's at Ardmore Music Hall. And then playing Fergie's, which is cool. That's great, just because Fergie's is awesome. It's just cool.
When's Fergie's?
June 6th.
June 6th. And then we're going to, we got a lot of stuff that we're hopefully going to start booking out.
Nice.
So
yeah, Fergie's was my first open mic ever.
Oh, was it really? Was it with the
It was upstairs
with the
me too.
The live band karaoke?
No, it was no, the guy that was hosting, I can't remember, maybe Alec or I can't remember his name now. But no, it's like every Monday nights they do like a regular open mic.
Oh, okay.
You get 2 songs, and
How'd you do? What'd you play?
I played a song called "Too Close" by Alex Clare and "Let Her Cry" from Hootie and the Blowfish.
All right, nice.
And this was like 4 years ago, because the high level version of my story is I started playing guitar when I was 14, was in like the heavy metal cover bands for a while. I was in an original rock band called Habitstone probably 20 years ago. We played like 3 shows and broke up because our singer was an asshole, as it goes. And then like, life gets in the way, right? Marriage, kids, all that stuff. And then when my marriage, ended, I had all this extra time on my hands. So I was like, what am I going to do? I could drink myself into oblivion, or I could go play music. So I
play for people.
That's not mutually exclusive. You can do both.
I did do a little bit of both for a while. That's for sure.
You drink slower when you have a guitar.
That's true. That's true. So Fergie's was my very first open mic, and
awesome.
never looked back since. So
that's great.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, I appreciate you guys being on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much.
Good luck with
Appreciate it,
everything.
Dave.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
This song is called "The Everything."
is the only thing that matters, matters. Never your grass is full, never that moon sets in your eyes, never you look at me, never were there for the
song is. Let me at least introduce this. This song is called "Never Stop."
With the sound out up, it was 4 feet to the floor. We used to kick it in the back with the tracks playing on the radio. Long way home, destination set for the never known. When we gonna make it home? Never stop running, not for nothing. Other people in the street that happened to me. Well, I sure wish I could say hello. Another face in the past, certainly a blast. I'm thankful that I got to know. Long way home, destination set for the never known. When we gonna make it home? Never stop running, not for nothing, yeah. Long way. When we gonna make it home? Never stop running, not for nothing. Long way home, destination set for the never known. When we gonna make it home? Never stop running, not for nothing, yeah. The sound of love, it was 4 feet to the floor. And we never stop. It was 4 feet to the floor. We never stop. No, we'll never stop. It was 4 feet to the floor. We'll never stop.
All right, fantastic.
Thank you, man.